Welcome to the Granite Zero podcast. Here he is, the legend that is David Atkin.
Legend, more like.
Legend, mate. How you been? You been all right?
Yeah, good. Just busy with work, busy with life, really. Yeah, same.
I know what you mean.
Day, mate.
Exactly, I know exactly what you mean. Fucking hell, I've had an afternoon of it, mate. I've had my two girls, and then my eldest had her mate over. Fucking hell, house full of chicks, mate. It's fucking. We ended up playing charades. I don't even remember the last time I ever did that, but they were there trying to act out movies and shit. And I was like, "You're awful."
You don't normally see kids playing stuff like it's normally iPads and stuff these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not old school games like that, but fair play.
They're banned, mate. They're banned from their phones at the minute.
I won't ask why.
Fucking creatures. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to have you on, mate. I think I've been asking you for like 2 years.
Yeah. Sorry. Just so busy.
It's always the way, mate. I totally understand. Like fucking life gets hectic, life gets busy. You got your little man yourself. So I know what it's like.
But good to see you finally.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like I said before I hit record, like I think apart from randomly at Thorpe Park, which was random, my missus was like, "Oh, bombs are going off again." My missus, hit the deck. Can't even remember the last time I'd actually hit the deck for a fucking rocket. But yeah, my missus was like, "Why do you randomly know people in Thorpe Park?" And I went, "Oh, I was on fucking basics with that geezer." But yeah, like you said, before that, basic training.
Was that 2008?
2008, mate.
Lifetime ago now.
That fucking what it fucking is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So long ago that, and you know, so many top lads out off that basic training. I got to admit, definitely. But you got injured, didn't you, on basic?
Yeah, like week 12. Yeah. I've got flat feet. So as I was running, it was pulling my IT bands in my legs. Yeah. So that was in pulling my kneecaps out. And I was in clip with it from like week 6 onwards, but I gritted it out as you do. Yeah. Went down the med centre, went to the physio. He was like, you need steroids in your legs. So he's like,
fucking treat yourself.
So I was there 5 weeks. Was really keen to get back onto the next course. I went on to junior then. Lasted a week before they went again. And then I thought, fuck it, this time I'll focus on my legs, get them recovered, and I went full circle back onto LL. I graduated on the same training team, which is quite nice.
ITLL, mate. Yeah, I had a similar. Mine was my ankles. So my ankles have always been fucking dog shit, and it wasn't until I was on the FT1 and I rolled both ankles on a tab. And I was like, fuck's sake, of course I've done it on the fucking promotion course again. And they were like, "Are you on 2 Squadron?" I was like, "No, mate." And they were like, "Oh, you've got ankles like a para." I was like, "What?" And they went, "Yeah, you've basically got no ligaments in your ankles." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I'm always rolling them." And they were like, "Did nobody pick that up on basics?" I went, "Nah, they just told me to man up and fucking get on with it."
It's what it was back then, wasn't it? And it's a bit different now, but yeah, it was like that back then.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, because you ended up going on the real 2 para, didn't you? Fucking 2 Squadron.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange one. Like, we were the first 5 that went on to 2. They'd not had anyone go for about 2 years, and they just got back from Iraq. So when us 5 rocked up at the 2 Squadron hangar on that Monday morning, there was no one there because they were renowned for starting at sort of 1 o'clock on a Monday. So we just come back then. And I'll never forget it. All 5 of us walked in the door. Everyone's there. They all stopped what they were doing and just stared at us. I thought, oh, here we go. First few weeks were challenging, as I think.
Yeah.
Not similar getting into any unit in it, but yeah, mate, fucking loved it.
Yeah, we were fucking lucky on 15 because the amount of us that went from field gunners to 15 Squadron was basically the whole squadron. I think a lot of the previous 15 did the. Sorry, let me.
Sounds like you're down the ranges, mate.
Oh no, let me wait for these pricks to finish. Fucking hell! Shut up. I generally don't get fireworks. This is gonna make for good viewing. This. What is going on?
It's not too bad here. Not too bad at all.
It's literally one of my neighbours. I might put on the Facebook group. You stop that! I'm lying on the floor.
Time to get a grip of himself.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! They must have spent a fortune on these fireworks. Anyway,
Sounds it.
But like I was saying, that's got to be it. Yeah, people are cheering. That's got to be it. Yeah. So basically, they got back from CAF on their last tour that they did before we joined. I think a load of them went off to obviously got posted and whatnot, and then we all rocked up, and it was literally predominantly the entire squadron was made up of fucking Crow LACs. So it was like we didn't really get initiated as badly as we should have. I think we should have.
Yeah.
Like when we ended up getting a load of crows in, we gave him some shit. Like it's got to be done, isn't it?
Hopefully not with a mortar tube.
There's a funny story about that. So this is going back now, last year, isn't it? So apparently, I was the one that sold that story to the newspapers to fund the podcast. I was like, "Are you joking? I'm recording a shed." I was like, "Who's making up these lies?" And I was like, "Also, that happened when I left. How would I? I saw the video when everyone else did. Fucking, I get so much shit, mate. So much shit. It's got to be done." So, obviously, what sort of guided you to join the mighty RAF Reg in the first place?
I'd always wanted to join the RAF. My great granddad was a Lancaster bomber rear gunner.
Oh, cool.
I've got his flying log and stuff, but he didn't. He died. One of his oppos that was meant to take over the aircraft next. He was ill when he got back, so he opted to sort of take over from him.
Yeah,
and didn't come back. So I had a picture of him on bed for years as a kid, and I just thought I want to join the RAF. Wanted to be a soldier. I thought, well, makes sense, doesn't it? The RAF regiment.
Yeah.
Obviously, those at the AFCO like sowed the dream as they do.
They do sell the dream as well, don't they?
I think from starting the application, I was in 3 months.
That's fair play. That's fair play. Similar sort of thing to you. Like my granddad served in the Air Force. My old man served, and I was like, well, I got to serve. It's like a rule. And then I originally went out to be a PTI and failed the aptitude test by like 2 marks or a mark or something like that, both times. And I was like, but I've got these qualifications. Can I still be a PTI? And I went, no, mate. And I looked at the list. I had a decent list to choose from, but me being me, I was like, well, I want the next most physical, demanding job.
Yeah.
And they went, well, that's the regiment. I went, I'll do that then. I remember driving back from Gloucester, and my old man was like, you don't want to be a rock ape. I was like, I do. I think I do. And then when I look back on it now, I think I don't regret that decision at all. Like I loved it. And you know, we get a lot of shit from other regiments, more so than most, but you know, I wouldn't have changed my decision. I think fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I think my personality fitted quite nicely in.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. But completely with you there. There's especially in the line of work I'm in now, it's all ex-military.
Yeah,
and I think at the minute I'm the only RAF Reg member of staff there out of like 200 odd members of staff. So yeah, you still get that same level of banter even at work now. So there's no escaping it. But
yeah, we're never going to escape that, mate. We're never going to escape that. I'm going home. I say home. I'm going back to Hereford on a Friday because I'm going to do the remembrance parade with my old man. And I was like, I'm going to go home to Hereford with my fucking jacket with an Air Force fucking patch on it, fucking Air Force beret. I went, I'm going to get some shit here.
You have to do the cenotaph one year, mate. You need to. You've got to put that down one year.
Yeah, it's on the bucket list, definitely, 100%.
I started doing it 7 years ago, I think, and I was one of the only ones there with the Herrick medal. I was probably the youngest one there. And over the years, more and more have come in, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
fantastic day on the pace.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. It's a fucking good one. Because obviously, we both went out to Herrick. Was your tour? Was it Kandahar? Or was it Bastion that you did?
Kandahar, yeah.
It was Kandahar.
We took over from 27 Squadron.
Yeah, because 51 took over from you, and then we took over from 51, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. I think it was 3 that was at Bastion when we were.
Yes.
Yes.
3. Yeah, 34 were at Bastion when we were out there. Because I remember, I got I got dropped off there. Basically, we did a detainee. We got a detainee, and we basically are now the how-to guide of how not to do it. They basically taught that on RSOI, I believe, and so basically we use the X-spray, and these farmers flared up for HE, or it seemed like HE. So obviously we detained them. We then they then decided to choose me as the detaining officer, and I was like, hang on. And they were like,
you sure?
And they went, well, yeah. They were like, yeah. In our boss's mind, I was one that could be just sent away. I wasn't a driver. I wasn't a fucking a gunner or anything like that. I was the flight signaller. So if anything happened with the comms kit, they would have been in shit. But apparently, I was dispensable. So so they sent me off to Bastion, and I always thought this. So when I got to the airfield, and they were like, right, you ready to go? They went, yeah. And they went, right, sign your rifle in and your pistol. I was like, huh? I was like, hang on, I'm escorting these. Yeah, don't worry about that. They'll get sorted. I was like, all right. So that all got signed in, all my ammo and bomb and all that. So basically, I just had my off-spray and helmet, and I got there, waited around for ages. I would have landed probably around 1 a.m, something like that. So I was waiting around, and they went, "Oh, you can go down to 34's lines. They'll sort you out." There was fucking no one awake. So I was like, "Oh, brilliant." Waited around. Then I got called into I can't remember what they were called now. The basically the prison. And searchlight, torchlight.
I wasn't out that long enough to remember, mate.
Fucking. It's either torchlight or searchlight. Someone's going to ping up and go, Tommo, what are you talking about? Anyway, so I sat there and I was like, right, I'm in the middle of a room here on me Todd. And then in comes a MP. And I was like, cool. In comes an officer MP. I was like, cool. And then in come these blokes wearing sort of mixed cam and a fucking North Face jacket. Big fucking beards. I was like,
who they are?
Are you right? I was basically interrogated for about an hour and a half on why we detain these people, why I don't have a witness, why I've been sent on my own, why the fucking detainees have got bruises all over them. And I was like,
Bloody hell, mate.
Don't know. And one of them was on SAS Who Dares Wins. He's the umpire at the end that does all the interrogating blokes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was one of them. I remember his face because I saw him on the FT1 afterwards. And I was like, I know you from somewhere. Oh yeah, you interrogated me, and it made me feel like I was a fucking proper crap hat. Yeah, great fun that was. Oh, but your tour was quite eventful though, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was only out there 6 weeks, I think, before I was injured. I was injured on the 23rd of Feb. So yeah, never forget it. So I was a machine gunner. So I was stood up in the back of the windmill really, and it all happened. But out on a all-day patrol to this village. We had our one officer with us, and then en route back, our vehicle got bogged in. So we had to get winched out by the Panther, which then put us at the back. There's only 4 vehicles. There was a one Wimmock, 2 Snatches, and the Panther, because all the rest were back at the fob.
Yeah.
And each vehicle that went over the cover, the boggy cover, it got worse and worse each time. And I was ordered to sit on the metal gun platform instead of being told to get out of the vehicle. So I sat there and just held on. But luckily for me, the handles are slightly forward. They're not in the center. So I can sort of lean forward a little bit. And yeah, mate, our driver hit this cover that hard. The vehicle went up in the air. I went up with it, and it bounced down and came back up at the same time. And you know them Wimmocks, they've got no suspension. Yeah. So yeah, I was like instant pain. Our medic ran over, put a morphine straight in my leg. Managed to get me out. I had another morphine a few minutes later, my other leg. So I couldn't feel my legs anywhere at that point.
Yeah.
And then a Black Hawk came to get me. They sent the Yanks in to pick me up in a Black Hawk, which was pretty cool. I don't remember anything of it, but we had an hourly photographer.
Yeah, the
patrol,
PJs.
and it got some really cool phots.
Yeah, the one I put up for the post that you were coming on, that's a pretty cool fucking phot, to be fair. Yeah. But fucking hell.
Flown back to CAF, had a CT scan. I was told I'd broken my back. By that point, ROC had got there as well, so he'd come out. And it was this Canadian doctor. And it was like, you've broken your back, and it's looking like you damaged your spinal cord. And when I had my morphine, my legs, I couldn't feel my legs anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh God, I thought I was paralysed a bit.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you bet you're flapping a bit there.
Yeah. The OC said, I think it's time you need to call your family. And I said I couldn't do it. So he did it for me. And then next morning, so I was meant to fly back the following night. The rest of the section came to see me in hospital, as they do, calling me a biff and that lot, because I was getting flown back to the UK.
Proper biff jet, that, mate.
Yeah. I was that drugged up. I fell asleep for a few hours, and I got woken up by our warrant officer a few hours later, and he said, "Sorry to tell you, an IED's gone off." He said, "Luke's dead and Ash is critically injured." I was like, "What? They weren't here a minute ago."
Yeah.
But not realising I'd been asleep all day, and it's just.
That's
certainly
mad,
took a while to get over that.
Yeah, I bet.
And then Tommy Barker, who was the top cover other machine gunner, he came in the hospital. Then he had to spend the night in there because he was concussed. And I'll never forget him coming in, like shouting, "Luke's dead, Luke's dead." It's like, fucking hell, just really, really rough time.
I bet it was, and I sort of. You must have had a bit of like a survivor guilt as well, because obviously if that's your section and you've got injured on the previous patrol, you're already biffed up with your back, like proper biffed up, to be fair, and then you're like, the next fucking couple of hours they've gone out again and hit a fucking IED.
I did, mate, for a long time, and it took some intense therapy to me to realise that wasn't my fault, but I blame myself for years, and I'm still close with Luke's mum, Kate. Still speak to her regularly, but for years I struggled with that. Even when I was so we were flown back. So as soon as Ash he's had his surgery out there, he'd been stabilised. They flew us both back the following night. Can't remember what time it was. Pitch black. Obviously, they only fly you at night, don't they?
Yeah.
And there was me, him, and another lad from Bastion, just on this C-17 Globemaster back to Birmingham, and that was it then, straight there. I watched Luke's repatriation on the BBC News on my little TV in front of me, and I said, I'm getting out of this hospital to get to that funeral, because they were on about fusing my spine when I was there. I said, I'm getting out of here. I am going to that funeral. I think it was 2 days before I discharged. That was it then. The long road to recovery, mate, that's still ongoing.
No, I bet it is. That was a tough funeral as well. Like, obviously, us lot on 15 didn't really know him, but again, it's still a brother in arms. You know what I mean?
Mate, I broke down in the church. Obviously, it was packed. I think I was the last one in there to see him alive.
Yeah,
it was like it didn't feel real that was him, because I saw him a couple of weeks previously, and we were. So when we're out in the fob east, you got your little rooms in your fob. We shared a room with like 4 cot beds in there, and it was yeah, just really, really bizarre time, and it took a long time. So it took a long time to get over. I don't think you ever get over it. It's always there.
Nah, of
It's
course
just
not.
how we learn to deal with it, really.
Yeah, and I've said it quite a few times on here. Like nobody, nobody can prepare you for grief. Like, and it'll affect everybody differently. Like we lost on 15. We lost two gunners. One was, well, I say 15. Was after when he when he PVR'd, but one we had, which I'll talk about now, was Paul Mo Mahoney, and
Yeah, I remember him. I was on Juno with him for
yeah,
a
on
few
Juno,
weeks.
yeah.
Such a character.
He was a fucking brilliant lad, and I still remember they were literally just about to go off to do AT, which is where he tragically got killed in an avalanche. And I remember seeing him, and he had a fucking dent in his forehead from the night before, where he got in a fight with a lad who had a signet ring on and punched him in the head. And we were like,
"That's Maloney."
I was like, "Fucking hell, Mo, what are you doing?" He was like, "Well, we're fucking just out on a piss, weren't we?" I was like, and I just remember like us and the other lads was just saying, "All right, cool, enjoy your fucking time away. We'll see you when we get back for pre-deployment." And then I remember being out. I think I was out in Brazilia's, in fact, doing some disco dancing when another buddy of mine who's now tragically passed away as well, Cy Baldwin, who was also on Juno.
Yeah.
And Danny Ritchie's, you probably know from Juno as well. They came into the bar and they were like, "Tommo, we got some terrible news. Like Mo's passed away, and Shep was also there." And we were like, "Fucking not Shep as well," but Shep.
Yeah, they were inseparable, them two on Juno. Like, yeah.
And yeah, fucking hard, mate. It was hard. And
avalanche on it.
Yeah, it was an avalanche. And I believe they even had the fucking warning saying, "Look, you can't go out on that."
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And they obviously let him out, and fucking tough. But fucking hell, it's mad that like you don't really think about these sort of things until around this time. Especially in November, it's always a sort of strange sort of time. I always feel like remembrance week or month, as I like to use.
Yeah.
Because one hand, it makes you like fucking proper proud that you served your country, you wear the poppy of pride and things like that. And then other times you're like, fucking hell, we lost some fucking brilliant people. And obviously Luke, I think the regiment did the right thing and turning, as you called it, Fob East, wasn't it? East Fob.
Yeah, turn into Fob Luke. Yeah.
Yeah, Fob Luke.
PB East. That's what. PB East. I think it's called.
Oh no, I haven't got it up in here. Oh, I do have a photo somewhere of us at Christmas. It's got Fob Luke in the background, the big signs, but I haven't got it up here. I'll probably do somewhere. But yeah, well, obviously, like you said, you finished. Well, you got to go to the funeral, which was fucking spot on. But obviously, your road to recovery must have taken, well, still ongoing.
Yeah, I think I've had 6 backups. That's so far, and I'm waiting for another big one. I need another fusion. So that'll be my 3rd fusion. So it's never ending, mate.
Iron back.
Yeah. So I got the name of Glass back. It's one of them though. That I've got an injury that I'm in pain with every day, and I've been in pain every day since the day I was injured. So you sort of get used to it. Where the mentality is, it could have been worse. So it is what it is. Just crack on and deal with it. And I spent a long time at Headley Court. So I did. So when I was at home after being injured to be made discharge, it was about 18 months. So you do your 3-week missions down there, then go home for a month, back down there. And some of the lads down there, even when I was struggling a little bit, I'd go outside to the smoking area, and there was lads who were like half a head, and lads with like one limb still having a laugh. And I'd tell a bit of a word of myself and say, like, you need to sort yourself out of here. Like, you've got bad injury, but it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. But that's another one as well, isn't it? Because it's a similar thing with sort of mental health stuff as well. Is when you look at other people and you're like, fucking, what have I got to be fucking depressed about? Look at this person. But then you're like, well, actually, no. Like for you, every injury is fucking different, and having a fucking back injury is pretty fucking major, mate. Especially if you've had 6 surgeries and you're getting fucking different parts of it fused. That's mad. But in the same thing, mate, you also have done fucking wonders, and going off to do the fucking Invictus Games is a fucking special fucking thing.
Yeah, yeah, well, amazing experience. So my last stop before then was 2015 when I had my fusion, and that worked for a few years, about 3 or 4 years, still in pain, but manageable. I wasn't really on as much medication as I'm on now, but I was able to train.
Yeah.
I was training 2-3 times a day for that, and in doing that, my mental health was much better because I was out training.
Yeah.
Just I remember I went for I was watching the Toronto one on TV when Prince Harry does his speech at the end, and it was like game on, see you down under, and I thought I'm going to have a bit of that. So emailed Help for Heroes. How do I apply? Send the application out. Filled in my details, and then got invited to some of the camps. So you go and do a few camps. The coaches would then sort of write a report on how they think you perform, if you've improved, and then you go for trials. So I went down to Bath University, down there for 4 days. Did well at trials. I think there was 600 of us that went for trials for 72 spots. So they said it's like a 1 in 8 chance.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd been selected, but yeah, well, I was sort of driving to work one day, and we knew this is when we were going to find out. Email pinged in the morning, checked it, couldn't believe it. So I had to phone them there and then. I said, "Is this right?
Like, yeah. Is this Jen or not? Because if not, I'm taking your eyebrows."
Then we had to sign a document, so you can't tell anyone until you have your public release in London.
Fucking fair play.
Unbelievable experience.
Yeah, because there's some. Again, I think it's fucking so good that they did that, as in create the Invictus Games, as it's like a fucking military fucking Olympics, which is fucking awesome. It's great to watch. Like, it's so funny though, because my mother-in-law is constantly like, she'll watch things like that, and then she'll see like what regiment they're from, and if they any of them that pop up with like fucking RAF regiment or anything like that, she's like, "Oh no, you're watching BBC Two or whatever it is." There's fucking she was bang on. She loved Robbo. It was so like, he's like, "Robbo's on telly again." I went, "All right, I'll send him a text if you want." Like, but it's awesome. But you did how many events did you do? Did you do 3 or?
I did 3. I didn't really talk about 2 though, because one I've completely flopped it.
Yeah.
First event was the indoor rowing.
Yes.
And I trained well for it. And when we're in Sydney, we share rooms. So there's 2 people per room. And my mate Barney, he was quite ill on the way out there. And gave it to me the morning before I was due to row. And I was proper ill. And I was going to pull out of it, but I thought, I've done all this training.
Yeah. You can't pull out of it.
See me. I'll just attempt it anyway. I think I came mid-table, and after I finished my 4 minutes, I creamed in on the floor. That was me. Just passed out, blacked out. And obviously with the mindset we got, I was told not to do the 1 minute. Later on, I said, "No, I'm doing it." Creamed in again. So that was the rowing, which I don't really talk about.
Yeah, then, that didn't happen.
It's powerlifting after that, which was good. So I'd messed up a little bit. So where I'd been out running loads, just to sort my head out a bit. I'd lost loads of weight, and the powerlifting is done in 3 weight categories. So it's lightweight is up to 73 kilos, 73 to 97 is middleweight, 97 plus is heavy.
Yeah.
So I'd lost loads of weight, and I got down to about 79 kilos, and I thought, do you know what? I might keep trying to go with this, because if I can get to 73 and still managed to lift what I'm lifting, I'm in with a chance at medaling. And I left it too late, and I thought there's no way I can get down. But at the same time, I was thinking I also can't get up near 97, so I was one of the lightest middleweights. Which didn't help me out, but it was done in like 3, because the middleweight was such a big group. It was done in like three classes. So like the light middleweight, or weakest, should we say, medium, and then the beast of the middleweight. And I won my group, but well off on the medals. Some of these lads were lifting a ridiculous amount, and then it was a sprinting. Then I'd not actually tested myself doing the 100 and 200 meters before I went out there. I couldn't attend many athletics camps due to work commitments. I didn't know how fast I could go. So when I did my 200 meter heat, it's the first time I'd done it, so I didn't know what to expect, and I won it. I was like, fucking hell, I won it. The day after was the final, and some of these lads, I thought, I haven't got a chance here, and I came second to last. Really underestimated it, and my coach said to me, "You're brilliant for the first 170 meters, and then you just blow out." And that's when the lads just flew past. The day after was the 100 meter, and I was up against there was like four heats, because there's different categories in Invictus. You've got like IT1, which is like treble amputee. So there's only like 3 or 4 of them. IT2, it goes down with injuries. So IT7, I think I was in for the running. There's hundreds of you. So you're doing different heats. There's like 4 or 5 heats at 10 at a time. And everyone in my heat, bar 2 people, I was in the 200 meter final again. So I thought, I have no chance here. And I won it. I was like, fucking fair one. I won it. And I can't remember what time I got. But the heat after, the other Brit lad did it. And he beat my time by 0.2 a second. And then our coach had to decide who was going to be in our relay team then. And he chose him because he was 0.2 seconds faster. And then we had the final, came 4th in the final, finished.
Fucking close, mate.
That's 0.7 seconds behind bronze medal. I was good. Or if you just leaned a bit more, but 4th place.
Should have jumped, mate.
Yeah. Just something you don't forget, like walking down the track. And I mean, there's thousands of people there. When the camera comes past, you're on the screen. It's just
it's fucking awesome, mate. It genuinely is, and just to watch, like, and the support and the love that people still give for military veterans is fucking second to none, really. Like, I always found that since Afghan and Iraq is sort of fading towards like history, as you could say now, people have forgotten a little bit of what people did out there, and I found that even down to like the Sun fucking Millie Awards, which I believe you were, is it runners up?
I was shortlisted for the, I can't remember what category. It might have been role model of the year, I think.
Yeah, but the Millies have sort of disappeared now, haven't they? That's now like the NHS Awards or something. It's like,
it was always an ITV. Like when Afghan was on, it was it was an ITV, and it was the same setup as the Pride of Britain Awards, like a massive night.
Yeah,
I think it's over on. It went to BBC, Channel 5 for a bit. Now it's on Forces TV, so no one even knows about it.
Yeah, because I mean, the last one that I remember watching, or what I thought was the Millies at the start, and I was like, hang on, this is like the NHS Awards now or something. It's like, oh right, so the war on COVID is taken over from everything else. But yeah, it's awesome, innit? And you do some fucking brilliant work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a new link. So we've got 4 minutes left on here, so I'll send a new link, and we'll start again and get an extra 40 minutes. Yeah, and we'll start discussing the sort of stuff that you do now, because I think that's fucking brilliant as well. So give me 2 secs, mate. I'll send you the new link, and
no worries, mate.
We'll be right back after these ads. Hello, you're at the adverts, so don't turn off. Don't turn off, because I've got some good stuff for you. First up, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. Kent CBD is our first sponsor. Now, CBD oil, as you know, has tremendous benefits, especially within mental health and physical health. Personally, I use it to help with my anxiety and my depression, but not only that, I also use it to help with the aches and pains of life in my joints, especially my ankles and my knees. But yeah, without CBD oil, I would have still been on my antidepressant tablets, which I'm no longer on. So, you know, every cloud. And what we're going to do here at Granite Zero is we're going to give you 10% off everything from oil, muscle rub, jellies, bath salts, the lot. Yeah? Make sure you get in there. www.kentcbd.org. Put in the promo code GRANITE0 and get yourself 10% off. You are welcome. But also, if you're like me and you love a nice cup of coffee. Now, for me, I only drink one coffee, and that's Green Beret coffee. Now, I don't only drink it because it's out of this world fucking coffee, roast to order, grinded to whatever specific grind you want. But not only that, it's veteran owned and veteran run, which, you know, hits me right in the feels. So make sure you check it out, Green Beret coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I drink it dark, just like my soul. Incredible stuff, incredible stuff. And what I'm going to give for you, I'm going to give you 10% off. So once you get to the checkout, once you've got all your coffee, your products, your apparel, whatever you need, get to the checkout and put in the promo code GZPodcast10 and get yourself 10% off. Courtesy of the Granite Zero podcast. You are welcome. Now, that's enough of me talking about this stuff. Back to the regular scheduled show. Check it out! And we're back.
Back in.
We're back in. Yeah, so talk us a little bit about what you're sort of doing now, because I think it's great. Like, I wish I'd known about it when I was sort of at that age, going through college and whatnot. I would have definitely have preferred to have done that than what I did do at college.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's called MPCT, so it's the Military Preparation College of Training, and it's training and preparing 16 plus that aspire to join the military. Will that be the RAF, the Army, the Navy, the Royal Marines? So that half what we do is physical training, which that's what they enjoy doing. So every afternoon is phys. Every Thursday is like our full military day. So we're kitted out of the training area. We teach them everything they get taught in phase 1 training. We do it at the colleges.
Yeah.
So when they get to phase 1, they've passed it. And I think we've got a 96% pass rate. So we've had over 6,000 people join the military from MPCT, and yeah, it's that
awesome.
high.
That's awesome. You need to get a grip of that 4% though, mate.
That's obviously not my college.
Yeah. Fucking nice.
I started as an instructor in 2017.
Yeah,
I was a training instructor at the Croydon College, and I worked my way up since. So I then went and I set up the Battersea College in 2018. So I did that as a lead instructor. Once I'd got my KPIs to where I needed to be, got the numbers in, then a centre manager, and now I'm a deputy regional operations manager. So half what I do is sort of overseeing the region, making sure that the colleges are squared away, and the other half is out recruiting, doing events in schools and stuff, schools assemblies, taster days, etc.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. And so do you get many? It's obviously working out in the different areas of London. Are you getting a lot of sort of kids that would have probably taken the wrong path if it wasn't for like your college?
Massively. Even when I was running the Battersea College, we had a lad called what's his first name, but Mr. Stevens.
Yeah.
Who, just a little bit of a yob to start with, a little bit lost, in trouble with the place a little bit, and he came to my office one day and said, "I want to, I want to follow in your footsteps. I want to join the RAF Reg on the T Squadron." I was like, "Brilliant." I went to his graduation ceremony in July.
Yeah, I saw the photo.
He actually got T Squadron. So
that's even better.
Other than my son being born, I'd say that was up there with one of the proudest days of my life, just because I knew what it was like at the start, what we had to do with him, and it followed in my footsteps, and that was him. Yeah,
that's fucking inspirational, mate. Genuinely, because like living down south, like I'm supposed to be in a nice area in Kent, but you know, even where I work in my regular human job, I'm an estate security manager of it's a strange, it's like a village, but not. It used to be RAF Westmoreland, which is like they used to help deal with all the night raids and things like that. The Spitfires used to fly from there. So before I even knew that, I was like, I quite like this area, and then I figured out. Then I've got obviously the Air Force sort of fucking touch to it, so it's even better for me. But anyway, we keep getting these. It's like every couple of years we'll get a new bunch of kids that are just little cunts. Like that's the only way to describe them. That like if I wasn't in like a work capacity, you'd want to just fucking
fill
them in because the way they talk is annoying for a start. They've got no respect for anybody or anything. Like I remember being a kid, and you'd obviously give security officers a bit of a fucking runaround, but the stuff that they do, that they're fucking damaging property, they're breaking into offices, they're putting. One of their things that they like doing was putting plastic cheese onto the walls, and then when you peel it off, all the fucking paintwork comes off. And I was like, that's just annoying. Like, one, you're wasting food, which I hate, and two, you're causing criminal damage. It's like, just be a little bit chopsy, sure, be a bit cheeky, but fucking, I just want to just fill him in. Like, I was out on the ground the other day, and they tried to get into one of the offices during office time. They were like trying on the fucking grabbing on the doors and that. Luckily, they don't know the fucking passcode. But I turned up. I'm all suited and booted because I wear a suit to work because I'm fucking cool. I get out of the fucking car and I walk over and go, lads, what you doing? And they're like, oh, look, he's a fucking new one. I was like, a new one? I've worked here for 5.5 years, you prick. I was like, fucking new one. Fucking hell. But yeah, so I'm still of the mindset that one of the best things that ever happened to me was joining the military.
Yeah.
Because I was a gobshite. I still am a gobshite, but I was more so. I was fucking arrogant and things like that, and you know, getting put through my paces on basics was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
breaking you down and molding you into what they want you to be. I think, and just giving you that work ethic is second. Getting a taster from the college like yourselves, even if they don't go on to join the military, like those life lessons that you guys are probably teaching them is fucking beyond what that they're probably capable of at the moment.
Yes, some of them realise after a couple of months the military's not right for me. But it is a military prep college, like that is what we do, but we've progressed learners into the police, the fire service. Because half what we do is PT. Some have gone on and got the PT course and become gym instructors. So it's not just military, but that is the bread and butter of what we do. But as I say, it's giving them the life lessons. Like we always try and take them out of the comfort zone quite early on, and a bit like in basics, isn't it? You take out your comfort zone, and that's how you become more confident, and that's how you're able to work better within a team, how to communicate. So it's giving them tasks. At assessment centre, it's probably not as difficult as it used to be, but you still got to be confident. Still an interview at the end, and if you can't sit there and openly respond to some questions as you would, and I said it's the iPad generation. You don't see kids outside playing, getting muddy anymore. It is sat at home on the iPad. It's just completely different generation.
It fucking is, mate.
What we used to.
It definitely is, and I would hate to grow up in this sort of generation now. Yeah, I like fucking sitting at home watching Netflix and playing FIFA like anybody else, but You know, like I say to my girls, you fancy going out for a kickabout? Like, yeah, they're girls. My youngest plays football, but you know, it's not like I remember bugging my fucking parents when it was pissing down with rain to let me go out and play football or rugby or fucking just be out in the park.
You used to go out for the day, come back home for the dinner, and go out again, and that was it.
Yeah, I still remember like being out the front of my house, and there was a group. They were fucking little pikey kids they were, but they used to hang about with us every now and then and play football. But their parents would literally just shout from their house, and it would like echo around all the different streets. and then they would go home, and it was like, that just doesn't happen anymore. It just doesn't happen. And I feel a bit sad for this sort of generation, because obviously we didn't really have the threat. We probably did have the threat, we just didn't know about it, of obviously fucking creatures that try and take kids away, and all the different dangers out there at the minute, knife crime and fucking bollocks like that, fireworks going off again. But you know, how fucking good was it being a kid? Like, I would love to go back to the 90s and early noughties and just be a little rascal again. You know what I mean?
Remember up north, we used to have something called Mischievous Night.
Oh,
and no shops in town would sell any under 18s eggs. And about 6 of us went up to our secondary school, and it was all gated off, loads of fields, this big school in the middle, chucking eggs as you do. And next minute, we saw some lights on the wall, looked across, and it was a riot van that opened the gate and came in, and we all legged it across the field as you do. And the fat lad couldn't keep up, and he rolled his ankle. Obviously, the police got in first, like, asking who the names are and that lot. We jumped over the fence, and there was a Volvo T5. It was screeching around the roundabout, and that was it. And they already knew our names. He dobbed us in.
Fucking snitches get.
I know.
Snitches get stitches, mate.
It was fun of seeing all the reactions of parents when we were taking home. And I was second to last. Like one dad had to go at his son for getting caught. I think I got grounded for 3 months. Just for chucking a fucking egg. But
fucking mad, isn't it? Mischievous night. I like that. It's like Burns night at fucking Honington, wasn't it? Fellas, we're going to
ghost town now, Honington. I don't know when you were last there. So I was there in July for that graduation, and it is a ghost town.
Is it a bit eerie? Is it not nice?
Yeah, like 2 an hour at Bryce.
Oh, of course, yeah. 15 at Marham.
Yeah. It's not
full of MPs, isn't it?
Yeah. Mate, it's just a ghost town.
Don't like that.
Bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, I don't like that, but also I can sort of see why as well. Like, I always wondered why predominantly all the field squadrons were at one place instead of dotting them about. It'd make more sense to dot them about and probably cause fucking Bury St Edmunds less hassle.
I think Brazilians was shut down, wasn't it? And they turned it into somewhere else.
Probably.
Brazilians. I remember that because in basics, you weren't allowed in there, were you?
Yeah, we weren't allowed in
Deja Vu or whatever.
Deja Vu.
When you graduated, that's when you were allowed in Brasilia. Everyone went in there. And you'd be in Deja Vu, and you knew for a fact who was on training. We all had the same fucking grade 3 haircut.
I never had a grade 3. I always went lower because I didn't like the tennis ball head look. I was like, can I have it a little bit shorter?
And a 3 on top.
yeah. Proper fucking jarhead style. Fucking, it was great times though, basics. Like, and even now, like looking back on just being in the military, I only did 5.5 years, but it was fucking brilliant. And when you look back on it, but I was saying this on the last podcast, I remember being in and thinking, fucking hell, this is a ball ache. Fucking hell, we got fizz again. Fucking hell, we got to go to the range. Now I'm like, I would love for someone just to fucking wake me up and go, right, you got to go and do fizz now. He's like, because never been so fit. Now I'm a fucking blob. But, you know, and going to the range, people pay for that.
Civvies pay thousands for this.
Fucking Shipper's got a T-shirt that literally says that. civvies pay thousands for this. It's fucking.
Even on two though, like you go out on the piss on a night, but you were fizzing the next day.
Yeah.
And some days twice a day.
Still managed to do it. It's mad.
We'd all go out on a Thursday night sometimes.
Yeah.
We do something called, a couple of times called the half pint frenzy. I don't know if we did it. You either go Thetford or Booze and Edmonds. You start in one boozer. You have to down half a pint, run to the next, down half a pint. So you do all the pubs in the town, and then you have a piece up in wherever you finish last. And you get lads chucking up all over the gap. And then the next day, you are doing Squadron Fizz. And you can imagine what the Squadron Fizz is like on 2 Squadron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
some say it was almost as hard as 15, but oh, fucking brilliant. But yeah, the most functioning alcoholics ever, I think.
That's right, yeah. But I remember when we were doing, so we're still with LL. So we graduated, but we're doing like our field gunners.
Oh yeah, because you guys did it all in house on the flights, didn't you?
So
the field gunners.
It changed again after we did it, but ours was different to yours, I think.
Yeah. So as we did the basics, we were supposed to have like a couple of weeks off and then go and do field gunners, where I think Juno, who was after us, did it all as in a oneer. So I think they did their field gunners and then they passed out. I don't know.
Yeah, no, ours was graduate, have a week at home, then back, and then it was into the 9 weeks. I think it was the same as yours. I think we were one of the last to do it like that.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely better to do it that way.
Yeah, the first week or two was doing the Gympie, I think, wasn't it? Then I had to use the GPMG.
Yeah.
It was the Christmas do on camp, and all the 2 squadron lads got hammered, and it was the night that we all had to move our kit over into the 2 squadron slam block, and obviously hotel. These lads got wind of it, that we were sort of marching our kit over there, and in the room putting your stuff in. All you can hear is the buzzer. Yeah, hello. Get out of here now. Get out of here now. In the corridor, kit off in the air, naked, beer. Get down the fucking bar. Anyone else in there? Yeah, Wilson's in there as well. Get down the fucking bar. And a few initiations, taken out into town, to Brasilia, till silly o'clock in the morning, and then on the 25-meter range with the Gympie at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I remember saying to I think it was Jay Singer, I said, I can't remember what to do with this. Eyes were red, stinking of booze, still pissed. Didn't know what I was doing.
I like that. I don't know. My mind's gone. I don't know how to use it. Hands don't work. Fucking rats.
Good times.
Fucking, I remember. I think we were still at Barnum, and Neil Udin had just moved into 71, I think. But anyway, he was out on the piss out in Brasilia's, and he was stinking. And we were getting up ready to go into squadron on for parade, and then he put his foot in his boot, and it was just full of puke from the night before.
Oh God!
And I was like, "Fuck's sake, why did you use your boot?" And he went, "Oh, no, I don't know. It's fucking crazy."
Oh, pudding.
Yeah, he went
to Powers, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still technically a power. I think he's getting discharged for something. I don't know if it's medical or what, but yeah, he went over to the Paras, which is hilarious because I remember being out on stag with him in Iraq and him fucking nodding off constantly like that, fucking constant nodding dog. And I remember looking, I wrote it in my memoirs actually, in my tour diary, you could say, and it literally says, "Fucking Udin's fallen asleep again, and this cunt wants to be a para." It's like fuck. It's in there like in fucking big letters. Fuck off. Proved me wrong. He proved me wrong. Fair play to you, Udin. It's mad though. There's so many different things that I wish I'd got done. I don't know about you, because obviously with your injury and whatnot, you're probably limited really in your service.
Yeah, like for a long time, I felt cheated in my career. I signed up to do a job that I loved, and went for the med board, and they were like, "Yeah, med discharge." I was like, "What? Is that I've been here for years, like, yeah. So I
mad.
felt like I've done all that for nothing really.
Yeah.
And they said that took me a while to get made around as
Yeah, I
well.
was gonna say, how did that?
Transitioning to a civvy was fine because I'd been on sick leave for that long anyway, and in between being at Headley Court, I was back home, so it
Yeah,
wasn't like a big shock for me. But yeah, I massively felt cheated.
yeah.
Yeah,
I bet that took quite a bit of time to get used to as well. Like that was one of my big things was losing that brotherhood, you could say, the comradeship and having that purpose was my big downfall. That's what sunk me to my lowest. Was like, I've said it fucking I don't know how many times on here, like wearing the uniform and the fucking cap badge and whatnot, it gives you that a massive sense of pride. And I never found that sense of pride until like remembrance sort of time when you can put your medals back on. That was literally when I was like, fucking yes, I can be a fucking soldier again technically and things like that. It's like, hey, but yeah, massively struggled, massively.
It's like a lot of people leave these days and they think they've got to find the job, like the perfect job as soon as they get out, and
it takes time.
That's very rarely the case. Like when I left, I was working as a youth mentor for the West Kent YMCA. Like that wasn't on the radar. That's not what Cassim was doing. So that was working with like those youngsters that had been even kicked out of a pupil referral unit. So you can imagine what they were like.
Yeah.
I was in a carpentry workshop in Tunbridge. So
fucking only around the corner from me, mate. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew. We should have fucking met for beers.
So after I'd finished work, I'd stay on and I'd learn the carpentry units, and then I started as a tutor. So I was tutoring them carpentry. I sort of went on and then went to work for a company called Challenger Troop. They were Tunbridge Wells. That was a little bit similar to what I'm doing now. Still ex-military. I'm going into schools. I'm running like youth programs for like disengaged kids and stuff like that. And then that sort of led nicely into what I'm doing now. So it's all sort of had a knock-on effect. But I went to a stage of wanting to be an airline pilot. I was going for lessons and stuff. I just didn't have the 100 grand to do it.
Yeah, who does? Who does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And you know, I'm semi-settled now, but I still get these moments where I'm like, just every now and then I send you a message. So what's going on with your fucking course? How do I get about doing that?
We've got some vacancies at the minute.
Well, yeah, I might be in touch.
I'll send you the link later.
Yeah. But no, genuinely, I get to, like my missus even said, she's like, do you actually enjoy doing security work? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's what. But then it's all I've known since I've left. Because I didn't get any real mentorship in going through my resettlement, I automatically went, well, what does everybody else do when they leave? Oh, they get a CP license and they go and do fucking blah blah. And then I got my CP license and then I looked at it and I was like, the reason why I left was to spend time with my family, not go away on do maritime or not go away back to the fucking desert to do close protection and things like that. It's like, what am I doing? And I ended up doing oh fucking hell, what have I done there? Don't know how I did that. Clicked off, but I don't know how I did that. Fucking techno biff. But yeah, I was like, I ended up just being a security guard at a Waitrose, and that's when I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I changed to be a cash in transit guard. So I carried the high value fucking money and jewelry and stuff like that. And even then I was like, what the fuck am I doing this? Then I ended up getting a pretty cool job, which was the surveillance work that I did, where I was spying on benefit cheats, which was really fun, until they started sending me the other end of the fucking country, where I was supposed to be working Southeast and London. That was supposed to be where I was working, but they were sending me out to fucking Plymouth, Portsmouth, fucking Birmingham, Manchester. And I was like, this is not what I agreed to. It's like, and then I got this job and I've sort of settled because it's close, pays all right, but you know, it gets stagnant, doesn't it? And
that's it. Yeah, I think that's, even when I was a centre manager, it's a fantastic job, but it's got a bit of a lifespan. But you do the same thing every year. So the position I'm in now is brilliant because every day is different. I might be working at home a day, I might be in one of the colleges, I might be at a school. So every day is different, and it's great. But it's so rewarding, especially when, as I spoke about that lad earlier. Like,
definitely is, mate.
Yeah,
I think the work that you have been doing is, you know, it shows when you get put in for fireworks.
He's going for round 2, aren't he?
Yeah, they're fucking bombarding me. It's us leaving fucking Iraq again. We're getting 64 rockets.
How did you feel last year, mate, when back in Afghan again, and it all kicked off?
It was a strange one, wasn't it? You know, in certain breaths, it's like a real big disappointment because of obviously the work that we did. And a lot of people go, well, you went over there just to fucking shoot people. No, we didn't. We went over there. Yes, that was part of it because we had to get the Taliban and ISIS and whoever else out. But predominantly when I was there, it was heart and mind missions. We were going out to the villages. We were giving them fucking blankets, radios, fucking water, everything. It's like we were trying to build them a better fucking future. And then we handed it over to the Americans, as we do. And then they've just gone, well, there you go. See you later. It's like, what? 21 years, countless fucking lives lost. And you're just going to just watch them fucking destroy the country again. It's mad. It's mad. Yeah. Put all that fucking work in. People like yourself getting fucking injured. And obviously the worst, the ones that didn't come home. And those that did come home, some of them had fucking shot in the brain. You know what I mean? All for nothing, really. Yeah. It's horrible.
It's that I don't think spoken about enough at the minute, and it's those lads and lasses that have not had the support since they've left. I know the support's probably a bit better now than what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when I got out, there's nothing there. Someone came to see you at Edley Court, asking if you're all right. Yeah, I'm fine. That was it. You don't hear from anyone again.
That's exactly right, mate. And it's even if you don't think there's anything wrong with you, it's not until you actually start talking to a third party professional.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm a bit fucking messed up a little bit. Yeah. Like, it's not enough's done, and it's as though the government and those that sent us out there basically just wash their hands. Oh yeah, cool. You can have the Sun Millie Awards. There you go.
Yeah,
we're fucking done.
I was fine for years, but said just before we just started pre-deployment training, my old man died. Died in a car crash, and I was back at work the day after his funeral. Like they wanted me back because we were into pre-deployment training. You can't miss now, otherwise you don't get deployed.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that. We're that busy at work and then away.
Yeah, it's not until you settle.
Those three things, just I remember when they hit me at once. Like with my man, my injury, Luke, it just hit you at once, and I was like, bloody hell. And I was always one of those that when people said they were struggling, I wasn't a big believer in mental health and PTSD. But when you start realizing there's something not right with yourself, you're like, bloody hell.
I wasn't, mate. I wasn't. And, you know, for many, many years, I was like, how can I have fucking depression and PTSD? I was in the RAF regiment. That was sort of my mentality. I hadn't seen anyone get blown up like first person. I wasn't there. You know, I wasn't in countless fucking contacts like fucking the Paras and the Marines. I wasn't standing toe to toe with them, to do the quote. It's like, how can I have this? How can I can't. So there's bollocks. I'm not having it. And then I remember one of my buddies had quite bad depression, and I was like, fuck off. He did less than me. How has he got fucking depression? And I remember when I first really started literally sitting down and thinking, fucking, there is something wrong with me. Like, I'm losing my temper with the kids. I'm losing the temper with the wife. I'm fucking upset at work for nothing. Literally, I'm just driving around going, what are you doing? Like, the negative thoughts that were going through my head, thinking that I was a piece of shit constantly. And I was like, fucking hell, something's not right here. And then I went to the doctor, and had therapy, and they were like, yeah, you've got this and this and this. And I was like, oh, that sort of explains a lot. And then when I first started the podcast, and I got all the different hate from different people, a lot of people that I knew and I thought were mates, that were calling me out, saying that I was lying and making it up, and I don't have any of this. And I was like, well, how do you fucking know? Like, and then I'd be arguing with them, and it's like, I know what it's like to be them and be me now, where I know that, like, for example, if I was myself back then and I saw what I was saying and doing, I would have probably done the same thing. Like, yeah, look at this fucking dickhead talking bollocks. It's not until you are in it and then learnt about it, like actually reading up on different things to do with mental health would will help you understand how people are feeling. Everybody's different. Like you said, you were quite stoic and nah, that I'm fine, until like all your different things all hit you at once, and then you're like, oh fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? It's and not enough is actually taught within the military. I don't think they're all about your buddy checks and things like that, but how many people actually do it or actually understand how to do it? Yeah, you get people that are trim trained, but that was more of a dicking than anything.
Yeah.